Receiver is the connection between life and the ether, the frequencies we tune into and draw our inspiration from, the universal vibrations that flow through us, all in which we accessing boundless and infinite energy and transmit through human expression. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the band here with us today. Receiver, how you guys doing?
How you doing? Good, man.
Awesome.
How are you?
Yeah, doing good, man. So, like, that's a pretty nebulous bio. Where'd you guys come up with that? I think it's super cool.
I honestly don't even recall. I think it's something me and Troy and I both wrote, but the idea of Receiver is, I'd say, best inspired by a Nikola Tesla quote, and it says, "My mind is only a receiver." Yeah, that was it.
Oh, interesting.
So basically, the idea that I get in depth to it is just like, I feel like the music, I don't take credit for like consciously writing it. It was just kind of like a stream of consciousness that I feel like, you know, just comes from, you know, metaphysical realm pretty much, and we receive it, and that's how we write our music, all of us, and each and every one of us is that.
We're just the conduits for all of our own inspirations, and we just release all of that with our music in this band.
Wow, I love it. That's super cool. Well, so like, can you walk me through, because that might be a little bit of you know, kind of a different songwriting process than most people are you know, attuned to. So like, can you walk me through, like, what does it look like from soup to nuts, like writing a song for you guys?
Well, it varies. Sometimes two of the songs off of our EP, Theyll Wait is one of them, were actually beats, hip-hop like style beats that I had made on like Fruity Loops.
Oh,
and
cool.
those were those two, but that's like the minority of the process. But other than that, it's just me, like, usually late at night, you know, playing guitar when it comes to the guitar parts, you know, and like, I'll literally it'll just come out, not thinking about anything, just the songs come out. But anytime that I consciously have like tried to write something like with effort and intent, nothing ever sticks. So the process is I would basically usually come up with a riff and then come through and show Troy and Emil the riff, and then they do their magic and they help arrange too, you know, and turns into a song. We do the music first and then write lyrics after.
Very cool. Well, I can kind of relate to that because, you know, it's like after you're out all day and, you know, experiencing life in whatever form it comes in, and then you pick up your instrument and like sometimes just, you know, things just come out. Is there any like particular activities that you guys, you know, do that inspire you, you know, before you pick up your instruments and start playing stuff?
In general, it's just really life. You know, as a band, I think we don't really look at ourselves as like artists in a way. We just try to better ourselves through our music, so that's what really influences us the most, you know.
For Troy and I would say just weed, man. A lot of weed. We're just laughing in the background because like both of us were just like the first thing that came to mind was just weed.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, nothing makes you more present than smoking a fat bowl. So I'm with you on that. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, so over here in LA, it's legal now. You know? So it's like now it's like the stigma and the cliche behind it. You know, it's gone.
Yeah, we smoke blunts out here in LA too.
Backwoods.
Oh yeah, dude. Those spliffies are always a lot of fun. That's awesome, dude. So how did you guys form as a band? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys formed in the summer of last year. Is that right?
Technically, yeah, pretty much. But Emil and I are brothers, so Emil's on drums, I sing and play guitar. Emil and I are brothers, so we grew up pretty much always playing music with each other and taking lessons at the same time. And we were in another band before where Emil played bass in that band, but we decided to just like change things around, and so he started playing drums and we formed another band. And Troy I had met through a show, and he used to play guitar, and he had never even played bass before, but we're like, just play bass, are you down? He's like, yeah, I'm down, and he plays bass.
Yeah, man, I was a fan before I was in this band. I loved everything that they did with their old project, and it's just an honor to be present with them now.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I'm a fan of our music before anything else.
Yeah, that's super cool. And so you guys are in the process of writing a full length right now, is that right?
Yes, it's in production.
Okay.
So we're recording it, and no release date at the moment, but hoping by the end of the year.
Okay, cool. So a fair amount of runway there. Do you guys have any kind of shows coming up or anything like that? Are you guys like pretty active in the LA community? I'm curious, like what is the LA like for for a band like you guys? What would you, by the way, if you had to like put yourselves in a box in terms of a genre, how would you describe your music?
You know what's crazy is like for many people, most artists, I would say, you would probably have came across this. This is the most difficult like thing to answer, probably.
Yeah.
I feel like as far as the problem for us, actually, we don't know what box. That's actually a problem for. We don't know what box
we don't
to be in.
We don't really have a box because we don't want to fit into any box because we love too much different kinds of music.
Too much. So it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? So it's like when you ask about the community and shows, we have kind of like a cult-like following that has been following us like our whole lives, like Emil and I specifically, and they support they come out and support, and when we do a show, it's like usually like a rare occasion, but it'll be like at a bigger venue, and everyone will come out and support. But because of the whole community thing and scene, things are, I feel like they're pretty. They're not like, they don't have like a broad like range in different communities. It's just I don't know where we fit, man. Because it's like just so many different things. Like we love it all too. That's the crazy thing. But it's like I feel like as far as communities go, it's like we don't know where we fit. You know what I mean?
And as far as rock in LA goes too, like there's a certain mold that most people expect from bands out here, and we definitely don't fit that mold because that's basically everything that we're against. We don't want to force ourselves to do one certain thing, and that's not what our heart and minds are telling us.
The word rock has become like a cuss word, like to me. Like, you know what I mean? It's like It's kind of like it's like kind of cringy to me. It's not like I wouldn't call us a rock band even.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's just me. That's speaking on my own. It's what it's become. It's not what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's associated with like the last remembrance you have of that word is like Creed, Nickelback, Stained, and Coldplay. And they're not the worst, but hey, bro,
Yeah.
That's what rock and roll. I'd say it, man. I'd say it.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. Like I was in a band in SF for a while. We were playing, alternative rock. We always compared ourselves to, Queens of the Stone Age type of music, and it's just tough, man, because it's hard to find, bands in that genre to play with, and like, especially when, in today's world with the globalization of music and all this different stuff, like there's so many different influences that we have that it's hard to really categorize yourself into one bucket, when you're listening to hip hop and you're listening to, rock and you're listening to lo-fi, you know what I mean?
R&B and whatever, man,
Mm-hmm.
And we're equally inspired by all music. So it's like there isn't even like a one defining like you know what I mean? It's like spread out pretty evenly,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, let's jump into it a little bit because I want to get into the song we got today. So the song that you have that you've been so kind to feature is a song called "Theyll Wait." So can you tell us a little bit about it? What is this? What's this song about?
It's about ice in the ice catcher of a bong, and when it melts, like the water below it fills up too much.
But also, like, it seems crazy, but that's where the idea came from. But it's also about like dealing with pressure, pretty much. Long story short, but we want to have people also like make up what they want out of it. Like I think a better question is, what do the people that listen to it? What do they make out of the lyrics? How
does that make them feel? Yeah, because it could be different things. Because it's like the water will rise. It's like that could to someone feel like they're gonna drown, or you know what I mean? It's like they're like in a pool, and it's like the more shit that like adds on and it melts, and then they're like drowned. You know what I mean? So it's like just for you to interpret it how you want to. But the theme is just adversity and pride, I would say, and Troy wrote like half of that song.
Yeah, the broader context is that you can't be crushed. The weight of the Pacific is not enough to drown my pride. No matter what, you gotta have the strength to rise above whatever you face.
Awesome. Well, let's jump into it. This is a song called "The Wait" by Receiver.
It packs a punch. You'd hit the floor. If there's too much ice, the water will rise at any time. Miss the clutch. Now you're burning out. If there's too much ice, the water will rise at any time. Look beyond the main, deeper into the trench always. In the Mariana, can you carry the weight? Adrenaline rush, hot nails to your lungs. If there's too much ice, the water will rise at any time. Eject from flight, Alpha Maximum. If there's too much ice, the water will rise at any time. Look beyond the main, deeper into the trench always. In the Mariana, can you carry the weight? The weight of the Pacific is not enough. The weight of the Pacific is not enough. The weight of the Pacific is not enough to drown my pride.
All right, everyone. That was "The Wait" by Receiver. A fun jam. I can see that one being a lot of fun to play live. You guys, is that one of the more favorite ones you look forward to on the set list?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my favorite part is the ending because I get to hit my drum set really hard. So I enjoy that one.
Yeah,
I like
I can tell you guys bring it in a live setting. I'm sure you guys have a lot of fun up there.
It's fun because it has like a lot of different parts to me. You know, I feel like it's not too repetitive, even though it has like a pattern and a structure. The different parts are short. You know what I mean? Like it's like the intros, and they're all different. So it's fun for sure.
They all sort of contrast in a really good way against each other too.
Yeah, absolutely. So because this one's a little bit shorter, it's only like 2:45. Do you guys typically write pretty short, quick hitting songs like this, or like what's the style overall typically?
We've been doing that lately. We've had songs like even that aren't even out, or we had some 7-minute songs, 6-minute songs, but just not intentionally. It's just they've just been getting shorter.
Sometimes it's the right way to go. Sometimes you don't need to make a statement to get your message across, especially when it comes to a song, because we want people to listen to as much as possible, and sometimes you don't want to sit through a 7-minute long song.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good stuff. Out there in the LA community, are there any kind of under the radar acts that you guys maybe play with or you're friends with that you want to give a quick shout out to? Anyone that you think people should hear?
100%. The homie FaZe, he's spelled FCE. He's from Moreno Valley, but he's in LA a lot too. So he's he's active here, and he's a homie. He's honestly my favorite rapper alive right now, active right now. 100%. All of us, literally.
And if anyone wants to follow him, his Instagram is no caps, no symbols, nothing. It's God's favorite rapper altogether. And I think I think he has something to say, especially with what's going on in our county right now with all this craziness. And I think it's important for people to hear what he has to say. So
if you like Kendrick, if you like J. Cole, definitely go give Baze a listen. You'll like him.
I honestly say, yeah, he's something else for sure. He's special.
Awesome. Great stuff. So how can people stay in touch with Receiver, the band? Where can people find you and stay, up to the minute on all of your releases and dates and stuff like that?
Probably our website. But we're on, if they want to reach out to us, Instagram's probably the best way. But our website has, just all of our media and all of our social handle links and, all of that stuff. So it's just www.receiverband.com. And, yeah.
Perfect.
And Instagram is at Receiverband.
And we love, talking to people too,
Interacting.
We love interacting with our fans. We usually respond to our comments, our DMs, if possible, but we love it. So, yeah. So if anyone wants to even just
say what's up,
say hi, whatever it is, just hit us up. We'll respond.
We're not mean, we promise.
I love it. Awesome. Well, good stuff. Thanks so much for coming on, guys, and sharing your music and sharing a little bit of your story.